Hello, welcome to Annexed Dinner Table Reviews. I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Devin.
And today we're going to be reviewing Mariposa by Elizabeth Hargrave.
In Mariposa, we follow the generational migration of monarch butterflies. The game scores in multiple different ways, including general bonus points that are collected throughout each of the seasons and unfolded as the game progresses. You also go around to each of the city locations, flipping tiles and collecting cards and tokens, as well as bonus moves and other things of that nature to try to get yourself as far away to get the points, and then return back to the starting location in order to
Get more points. I think that the butterfly concept was really unique. I've never seen a game that has done something quite like this. There's a couple butterfly games that I've seen, but none that have really drawn me in and have, had us travel through with those butterflies.
Yeah, I'd say overall the concept is fairly unique. The migration concept, I haven't seen very many games that follow that same pattern.
I really enjoyed the art, actually. I enjoyed that we had this map, but that it wasn't just like a straight map. We added these tiles and made it a little bit more out there, less defined. And I think it took me away from that just like, this is the United States and this is Mexico. It's like, it is, but it could be really anywhere. Mechanics and like gameplay and how it worked, I initially really liked it, and I still definitely really like it. I think that the first couple games I enjoyed a lot more than like Devin did. I found it fairly easy to go up and hit the cities, collect a couple points with your seasons, and then still make it back down with at least one or two of your butterflies.
Yeah, overall mechanics for me, like I strategy-wise, it seemed very limiting to me. In the initial two-player variant that we played. We played a couple rounds as a two-player and then ended up playing a four-player. I feel as a two-player variant, it's very hard to achieve a lot of the things that you would normally do. With four players, you have more butterflies flying around, unlocking more tiles, visiting more cities. You can see more of the map and where the tokens are located to collect more of the resources, where with two players, you only have X amount of butterflies, and that really just limits how much exploration of what you can know about the map in front of you. I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that as I played, I also felt that there were some limiting factors. Your hand consists of your action cards, which really do affect how the game plays and what you can do. You wouldn't think that, moving one butterfly 4 times versus moving 3 different butterflies one time would have that big of an impact, but it really does. And so that's a nice thing that you're able to have 2 of those in your hand and strategize a little bit, but there's a lot left to chance in that deck of picking the right card to make what you want happen.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, being able to control 3 butterflies means you can get 3 different resources of collection, whereas if you have a single move, you can possibly get 1 or 2 resources depending on how you play it.
Yeah, and those resources actually are really hard to collect enough of them late game, because to get more of them, you're looking at like 2 matching, and so you're like, oh, this is super easy. I'm able to like upgrade my butterflies so quickly, and you're like, yeah. But then when you're looking for 4 matching or 5 different ones, you're like, you start to really have to like go to specific places and hoard the specific type of flower you're looking for. And late games also when you can have the most butterflies, which was another cool thing. As it gets more difficult, you have the option to have more, which I thought was a nice little thing instead of it always being the same, but that you can get more later that have more effect or things like that, where now it seems like it kind of steps up in difficulty as you play.
Yeah, and there's also, the strategy of the free seasonal upgrade. When you rotate a season going from a generation 2 or 1 to 2 or 2 to, you get that extra upgrade as you move from season to season. But upgrading and splitting your butterflies early allows you more coverage, allows you more butterflies to control, which means more possible resource gathering. You're still limited to the one card that you can play in that turn, so it doesn't really give you that much of an edge. But if you have 2 butterflies and you have 3 movement, you can only really collect 2 because you can. Well, I guess you can move 3 anyway. So yeah.
But it does limit you, and so is it worth it to save one of your old generation? It just adds some extra strategy to it. I enjoyed the cities also, that you land on them and then you get to pick a card or you get a bonus card. I thought that the cards were really nice because they do give you that bonus and they give you a reason to go there instead of really just looking for those, oh, I get to move an additional space with this one or 2 spaces with this one, which are the big, ooh, that's really cool. That's gonna save me late game when I'm, 1 spot away from something. But those benefits are really nice and they add something to the game where you get 3 points just by collecting that, or you get an additional turn at the end of fall where you're able to really possibly get those cards early game and then completely change your strategy for late game based on what that benefit is, and they rotate.
Yeah, I think that's where the 4-player variant is more beneficial to the 2-player variant, because you are blindly going for cities, trying to flip over these tiles to find out what's even there.
Yeah.
And with a 4-player variant, more of those tiles turned over, you don't have to do all the exploring yourself. I do think that the idea of the token collection is really nice. I question whether or not cards were the right way to go with this. For me, cards are informational, are a random thing. These are ultimately printed tokens, which I would much rather have had a punch out or some other kind of variant that wasn't a card.
I definitely feel that, and because they were cards, they did come with this separate board, which does take up extra room on my table that I sometimes wish that it didn't need to, especially with, as Devin said, they weren't really there to offer us anything other than a resource-taking thing that could have been done with a pile of, tokens sitting here. But it wasn't detrimental to me.
Yeah, totally. Great.
Age-wise, I think that this one was one of those games that I think almost anyone can play. I think we've talked about it before, but that win versus play mentality, I think to play the game, you can be fairly young. I would say 6-year-olds could play the game because it is super easy. You move based on that action card. I think to win takes a lot more thought and a lot more deep strategy that a 6-year-old's just not going to have. And I would say about 12 to 14 is where I would put that development of strategy to be able to win.
Yeah, I think so. Because of the automatic evolution into the next generation, there's no way for a young player to be killed out of the game early. You're always going to have a butterfly up until the final evolution. And so ultimately they're just moving pieces around on the board. Whether or not they actually achieve any kind of goals or get any kind of points, they can still play the game to the end and feel a part of someone else playing.
Yeah. Great. Overall, as I said, I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend this to anyone. I think that people who enjoy train games, surprisingly, will enjoy this quite a bit. It's got a similar type of movement and feel. It doesn't seem like it should, but it does. but I think almost everyone will enjoy this game in some way.
Except for me. I wanted to like this game. I incessantly played this game over and over and over and over, trying to find competing strategies, trying to find a different way to play this game and like it. And it's just, there's not a lot of strategic depth in it for me. The best way for me to play this game is to just not go north and to collect as many resources in the south by Mexico and then just turn around, go 5 feet from home, turn around and come back. That was the best strategy that I was able to come up with this game, and that's just seems broken to me.
And I obviously had very different thoughts. Each time I played, I was able to go further north and hit these upper regions in Boston, Canada area, and then make at least one of my butterflies come down, and I thought there was quite a bit of depth in that. Where are you going? Is it better to go north and go to the west, or is it better to go over east where there's more cities that are closer together? And it does sort of detrimentally, the summer in particular goals will kind of dictate where you kind of need to end up, because if you want those, they're gonna direct you in a direction that you have to go to get those points. So it is a little leading in how you do it.
For sure.
But I enjoyed it. He didn't. So that was our review of Mariposa. If you liked this video, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get reminders of our newest videos.